So why don't we do, let's get your mic a little closer here.
Okay.
And then let's do this one.
Okay. Can you see okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait, let me just.
Okay. I think mine keeps getting lower.
Yeah, we can't worry about it too much.
Okay.
And now you're going to do
the
Largo, right?
Largo, okay. Okay, I got it.
do this one.
Okay.
Thanks. And why don't we do a repeat?
Repeat. Where is the repeat?
The one we just added.
Like right here?
Yeah, just do it again.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And now if you do the Sicilian.
Okay. No, this one I need to, just in case.
Let's do pizzicato.
Okay.
back to this one.
Okay.
Yay. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Perfect.
Okay,
I'll
you
play
do
the
your thing.
gavotte.
Okay.
Perfect.
I love your embellishments.
Hey, why not?
That was great. That was great.
Why not?
Could I have your attention, please? In a few minutes, we will begin today's inauguration ceremony for Mary Baldwin University. Complimentary bottles of drinking water are available at the yellow hospitality tents near the top and bottom of the curved stairways. Restrooms are located on the second floor of Wagner Hall, near the top of the hill, and on each floor of Pierce Science Center, which is located 2 buildings to your left. Handicapped accessible restrooms are on the first floor of Pierce Science Center. Also in Pierce Science Center's Francis Auditorium, we are showing the live stream of this ceremony on the big screen. Francis has very comfortable seating, and the live stream always has the best view of the action. We ask that you do not stand in aisleways or stairways, as these areas need to be kept clear for safety's sake and for the academic procession. Also, please do not stand in the area at the top of the ramp on the left side of the terrace, as this blocks the technician's view of the stage. We also ask that you be courteous of others by not blocking their view wherever you stand. We ask that you turn off the ringer on your mobile phone at this time. Thank you. Please be seated.
Yeah, we can check it again.
Try and get your. Is there any way to get the antenna outside?
Yeah. Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. A hillside for a stage, faculty to act, and a president to behold the swelling scene.
Please stand in the spirit of prayer. We are a multitude gathering this morning to graciously call upon the spiritual energies that unite us as one.
Let's begin with the Shehechianu prayer, words of gratitude that come from the Jewish tradition, which are recited at moments of celebration, just like this. If you know this prayer, please say it together with me. I will translate it momentarily. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We give thanks to God, source of all being, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for bringing us together on this happy and holy occasion to which we all say, Amen.
With our gracious God as source of all wisdom, we give thanks for our ancestors who have nurtured this place of learning under our Creator's care. We ask for continued blessings on Mary Baldwin University, and especially on our president, Jeffrey Stein, that all who are part of this community may be inspired to grow in love and service in the world.
Then may we rejoice to see the secrets of the creation uncovered. So, let the students celebrate President Stein's stewardship for this hardy raft, our Mary Baldwin, amid the tumult of crash and wave. Let him steer her along a sea lane away from swell, foam, and stony coast. Bid him look for St. Elmo's fire on yonder cupola and take courage from so strange a light.
We call upon our Holy One of wisdom and visions to rest upon us and guide us as this community writes her next chapter. Our own stories dwell in these sacred hills and valleys, and we return home today so that the beginning of President Stein's story at Mary Baldwin be guided by friendship, honor, sorrow, and laughter that surrounds him as he begins. We celebrate how Mary Baldwin's light shines like a city on a hill to be a beacon of vision, wisdom, and truth today and for eternity.
For our future, we pray, the hope that our striving cease. God takes from our souls the strain and stress, and on this day we confess the beauty of God's peace. Breathe through the heats of our desire, and God's love be our balm. Let our senses remark and our worries retire. God speaks through the earthquake, wind, and fire. We rest in the still, small voice of calm.
The hills resound with it, and the halls of wisdom echo it, our motto. Non pro tempore sed aeternitate. We carry our sacred sources not for this time only, but also to usher in our beloved future. Amen. You may remain standing as we await the presenting of colors and the national anthem.
It is required you do awake your faith. Then all stand still. Hope is a lover's staff. Walk hence with that, and manage it against despairing thoughts.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Learning is but an adjunct of ourself, and where they are is where our learning is. They are the books, the arts, the academies that show, contain, and nourish all the world.
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. My name is Amia McCoy, and I am a senior biology major from Lexington, Virginia. It is an honor to welcome you on behalf of the Mary Baldwin student body to the inauguration of our 10th president. If there were one thing I would say about my time at Mary Baldwin, it is that this place has changed my life. When I came here, I knew I wanted to make my time special, and I had a clear sense of my goals and passions. However, I needed a place that would nurture and bolster my confidence. Today, I am confident, driven, and deeply connected to this community, thanks to the incredible support, mentorship, and the opportunities that I have experienced here. For that reason, I am so grateful to be a part of Mary Baldwin. It is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Jim Lott, who came to Mary Baldwin in 1964 as a faculty member in the English department. He also served as a dean of the college for 15 years, and he was also a longstanding member of the Board of Trustees. Dr. Lott is known for being a thoughtful and loving presence in our community, a true champion of justice, and a remarkable storyteller. He has so rightfully earned his place on the Mary Baldwin Wall of Honor, where his legacy will continue to inspire us. Across all of his roles, he has been a beloved and enduring member of our community.
Golly. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you very much. That was a lovely, I don't recognize that guy. I'm very pleased and honored to welcome everyone to the inauguration of Dr. Jeffrey Stein as the 10th president of Mary Baldwin University. We all are here as witnesses to Dr. Stein as he takes on this new exciting responsibility. And we are also witnesses to ourselves as we confirm our various roles in supporting Dr. Stein in the task he is formally accepting today. This is a time to look to the future of the university, a happy time to relish new possibilities and to celebrate new leadership. But it's also a time to remember and honor our past and to try to articulate what we have learned from it. I believe that Mary Baldwin has thrived for 182 years because its leaders learned early on that change is essential for survival, but that change must be grounded in tradition. And by tradition, I mean a clear awareness of and commitment to our values and our mission. In 1863, Mary Julia Baldwin took a struggling Augusta female seminary and shaped it into one of the premier preparatory schools of the region. In the first 60 years of the 20th century, leaders like Louis Jarman, Martha Stackhouse Grafton, and Samuel Spencer nurtured and expanded the preparatory school into a nationally known liberal arts college for women, serving over 700 students. That was the Mary Baldwin I came to in 1964. And I've been privileged to be part of an incredible expansion of programs and outreach ever since. 3 presidents, Virginia Lester, Cynthia Tyson, and Pamela Fox, have been primarily responsible for this expansion. Today, Mary Baldwin serves 1,800 students in undergraduate and graduate programs, a coeducational university, residential and online. We are a thriving university consisting of 3 colleges, the Gold College of Arts and Humanities, the Palmer College of Professional Studies, and the Murphy-Deming College of Health Sciences. And we are blessed with unique programs like the Virginia Women's Institute for Leadership, the Program for Exceptionally Gifted, and the MLIT MFA program in Shakespeare and Performance, some of whom you have heard today. As a faculty member, an administrator, a trustee, an honorary alumnus, and the parent of a graduate, I am honored to welcome Dr. Stein as our president. Jeff, we are fortunate that you have accepted our invitation to be our president. You are the right person for the job. My hope is that your tenure will be long and successful, that Mary Baldwin, under your guidance, will continue to change to become more perfectly itself, and that despite, or perhaps because of, the challenges you will face, you will find much joy in what awaits you. Congratulations to you and to Mary Baldwin on this new partnership. Thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Tremere. I'm a poet from Roanoke, Virginia. I am also a student here at Mary Baldwin. This poem is dedicated to Mary Baldwin University. The title of the poem is Learning is a Marathon. This poem isn't meant to be very serious, so if you want to laugh, it's okay. Trust me. I hope it will be funny, a little bit. Learning is a marathon. Learning is not a destination. It is a journey. Learning is not a race, but rather it is a marathon. It's kind of like running on a treadmill, and by the time you get to that finish line, you're probably like, whew, good Lord, I'm glad that's over with. It is the moment you meet the end of the road and look back and see that all this time there are others traveling behind you. And some may have fallen, got a little lost along the way, took the wrong turn, scraped their knees, tore their ankles, and you peer down this road and see there are people limping, bandages wrapped around their bones, bodies hunched over heads to the sky with faces wet from eyed cracked tears, some a little thirsty indeed, some a little sleep deprived, some with their fingers wrapped into knuckles of prayers beneath their whispering lips, and you say to yourself, my God, that it takes days into weeks and weeks into months and months into years and nights into days and days where you will question mom, dad, or wait, me? What in the heck? Just remember that in this journey, when you go, you grow. And when you grow, keep going. Yes. There's no shortcut to learning. You will always learn. Just remember in your learning, when you fall, and when you fail, get back up again. But what if it meant that learning something is also a part of you learning about yourself? How else could you learn if you're not willing to learn the things that help you learn you? I mean, for me, I wonder, on this road, if I'm not growing, then how do I mimic the growth of an unwilting flower that sprouts from water and light to keep my head held high, unwavering in the waves of shadows that try and shroud me, tumultuous and torrential like a cloud of rain? Remember, the hard times and the dark times, the storm is only here to allow you to grow, so keep going. But always remember that the road to greatness is often paved with potholes. I mean, can you imagine how silly it looks, half your body in a big round pothole? I get it, it sounds silly. I'm saying, there are times we get swallowed in the dark spot on the journey, but it's how we navigate our way through that counts the most. So make every moment your best. And when you're tired and running out of breath, just know that this means you've been fighting, and it's the body's response to pressure. And although they say that's how diamonds are formed, and I'll admit you're not a diamond, and you'll need a little rest along the way. Again, when you fall and tumble against the gravel, know there is no letter that can equate to the language of your love or the code of your creation. Do not forget the true iris of your intellect or the beauty of your being. Until then, keep in mind that learning is not a race. It's a marathon. Keep going.
On behalf of students, faculty, and staff, we are honored to welcome you to this ceremony, celebrating Mary Baldwin's past, present, and future. Today, we celebrate the shared values and ideals that unite us, alongside the rich tapestry of cultures, backgrounds, and perspectives that students, faculty, and staff contribute to our diverse intellectual community.
For 183 years, we have guided and graded, cleaned and coached, painted and planned counselors, writers, educators, and fundraisers, building a learning environment and supporting students of all backgrounds, and believing in a better tomorrow built by bright and inquisitive young stars.
For 183 years, we have studied and searched, dreamed and discovered, lived and learned, played and prayed, curious, passionate, and optimistic. We are first in our families to attend college. We are from across the Commonwealth, across the nation and countries across the globe. We are from every background and economic class. We are women and men, straight, gay, lesbian, queer, and trans. We represent every faith and no faith. We are your future leaders. And we have been nurtured by an environment focused on empowering the leaders of tomorrow to create lives of purpose and professional success.
For 183 years, as established and emerging scholars, we have endeavored through relationship-driven and pedagogically rich teaching across online and in-person platforms, liberal arts and professional and undergraduate and graduate programs to engage students in the wide range of human knowledge. Today, as a community, we proclaim our shared commitments to transforming students' lives and the trajectory of entire families, to living the core values of integrity, honesty, and respect, to celebrating humanity in all its wondrous and complex variation and sustaining a community where all may flourish, and to bringing knowledge and skills to partnerships in communities around the world.
Today, we also celebrate our home on the hill. With the privilege of climbing these hills comes the responsibilities of keeping the Mary Baldwin torch bright, keeping Mary Baldwin accessible for generations to come, keeping focused on students. In his first address to the college in 1957, Mary Baldwin's fifth president, Dr. Samuel R. Spencer, described a renewed vigor in Mary Baldwin. He said, "We are making plans not for 1 year or 5 years, but for 50 or more years, with determination to offer students an education that is dynamic and imaginative in character."
11 years later, speaking to the graduating class of 1968, Dr. Spencer recognized students' reaction against the ineffectual nature of the solutions the older generation has offered for the world's ills, and the hypocrisy with which we have defended outworn platitudes. Admitting that at Mary Baldwin, our community is far from perfect, he called on graduates to tear down walls which comfortably shut out the sights and sounds of the less fortunate, to carry forward with earnest hope and sure confidence the responsibility to build a stronger Mary Baldwin and world.
Students, faculty, and staff, we will now stand, if you are able, and express with us your support for this community and its future.
As we look forward to a bright tomorrow, we, the students, faculty, and staff of Mary Baldwin University, say to you, President Stein, that we stand with you.
Today, we ask that members of a new generation reaffirm Mary Baldwin's aspirations. Students, faculty, and staff, this next part requires your active participation. After each of the following 3 statements, please proclaim your support by responding, "We will." Will you embrace determination to offer students dynamic and imaginative education? We will. Will you continue to dedicate yourselves to build a community that tears down walls, confronts privilege and outworn platitudes, and brings earnest hope and sure confidence to build a stronger Mary Baldwin and world? We will. And will you offer sincere help and also support not only to students, but also to President Stein in his leadership of our community? We will. Thank you. Please be seated.
Give me some music, music, moody food of us that trade in love. Here will we sit and let the sounds of music creep in our ears.
What a glorious day. I'm Chrissy Stein, the proud partner of Jeff Stein, and joining me are our amazing children, Lena and Benny. We are thrilled to stand before faculty, staff, alumni, and students. You are the heart of Mary Baldwin, and it is our great pleasure to celebrate you. Thank you for inviting us in. Your love and devotion to Mary Baldwin moves us and energizes us. Thank you. We are grateful to share today with our extended family, Stein and Watson, our lifelong friends. You are role models and trailblazers who always champion and cultivate the light of those around you. Thank you. We're also joined by our larger family of friends and colleagues from Elon and beyond. You continue to nurture us, providing a rich environment in which to raise our children, develop careers, and forge friendships. We are grateful for your love and mentorship. We appreciate the support of the Board of Trustees and delegates from colleges and universities across the country. We are honored to welcome you here today as we champion the incredible gift of higher education. In fact, I met Jeff in college. What began as a friendship has blossomed into a lifelong partnership. It has been my greatest honor to build our family and our lives together. With far too many Jeff stories to tell, I'd like to share one that's actually quite old. It's about the 18th century Ukrainian rabbi, the Baal Shem Tov. In the story, the rabbi keeps disappearing every Shabbat morning. The townspeople are baffled. But the mystery of his disappearance is eventually solved when he is discovered in work clothes. Heading deep into the forest every Shabbat, the rabbi heads into the forest for chores, such as chopping wood. When challenged on why he is working on a day of rest, the rabbi explains that every act, including the most mundane, can be vehicles for holiness, and that service is the highest form of prayer. It turns out the rabbi's work to chop wood fulfilled a great need and strengthened his community as a whole. The Jeff Stein I know chops wood. He strives every day to make his part of the world a bit better.
I'm sure the first thing you noticed about my dad is that he loves people. He's quick to engage and ready to listen. If you've ever attended an event with him, you've probably also noticed that it takes him forever to leave. As impatient kids, my brother and I would roll our eyes and try to pry him away. Whether at a basketball game or student presentation, you can find him catching up with someone or laughing with a stranger until the lights go off and the doors have to be locked. However, if you know my dad, then you also know that he's not just on a mission to introduce himself to everyone or to shake all the hands in the room. This isn't something he got in a book about leadership, but is rather a true sign of his care for his community and desire to learn from others. His interest in your passions, struggles, and dreams are genuine. His extroversion and easygoing attitude on their own are a gift, and they accompany a very real dedication to his peers, which is a word I sense my dad would find describes all of us here today. While his vision and voice are strong and confident, the lifelong curiosity, humility, and inclusivity that both my parents taught us mean that my dad is always willing to learn from others and approach a problem with new eyes. The more I see of the world, I realize how lucky I, my family, and Mary Baldwin are to have him around.
When I think about my dad, I often imagine a few different dadisms, those quirks and traits that seem universal among fathers. Things like falling asleep on the couch, always making time to joke around with the waiter, or running into a friend to chat with anywhere we'd go. But I think that's a somewhat uncharitable perspective. Looking back, I see a fuller picture of those moments. Will he fall asleep on the couch after one episode of television? Maybe. But for someone who works as hard as he does, that seems fair. On school nights, my dad might have come home still chatting with a colleague about the struggles facing higher education, but he was always home for dinner and ready to joke around. Between it all, he made time to volunteer, pore over every book written about higher education, and jump in on the next big project my mom had come up with. I'm not sure how he does it, but he makes time for so many people in his life. His impact on those around him is perhaps most characteristic of my dad. In our hometown, there wasn't a place I could go where someone didn't find a way to bring him up. And it's true from the local pizza place all the way out to LA. Even though I'd grown at being recognized as Jeff Stein's kid for the 100th time, I could always feel the genuine joy people radiated just being reminded of him. So maybe he's not so cliche. He's a dad who works hard, who radiates warmth, and leaves a lasting impact on the community. That's something I can say of both my parents. People who are planners, doers, and push for the best in people because they want to see them succeed. It makes perfect sense that they'd end up here, not just because of how hard they work or their deep love for learning, but because beneath it all, they want to nurture the best in their community.
We tell these stories to help you see who you are inaugurating here today at Mary Baldwin. Jeff is a leader who engages in every act, who strives to listen and support every voice, and who seeks to uplift others. He is chopping wood to ensure the torch of Mary Baldwin burns bright. We now invite the chair of the Board of Trustees and class of 77, Eloise Chandler.
Dr. Stein, today we call on you to join a long line of those who accept the mantle of leadership for Mary Baldwin, for caring for the torch of this bright institution, for guiding and caring for this community, and even for fighting for Mary Baldwin's future. You have been given a great privilege and responsibility to lead those who teach, learn, and work on the hills of our 2 beautiful campuses, as well as our 21,600 alumni. Your responsibility, first and foremost, always is to students, that they may engage deeply in a life-changing Mary Baldwin education and prepare to be leaders of consequence. After all, this world needs more Mary Baldwin graduates. We call on you to be as courageous as Mary Julia Baldwin. We call on you to be as compassionate as Sam Spencer. We call on you to be as supportive of student leadership as Bill Kelly. We call on you to be as entrepreneurial as Jenny Lester and Cynthia Tyson. We call on you to be as visionary as Pamela Fox. And we call on you to be as connected to and focused on students and academics as Martha Grafton and Jim Lott. We call on you to focus on faculty and staff, inspiring their innovative teaching, scholarship, and mentoring in service of changing students' lives. We ask that you support all members of the Mary Baldwin family to feel valued and appreciated, and to exemplify our shared values of honesty, integrity, and mutual respect. You are charged to use your appointment to ensure this institution's commitment to the local communities, the Commonwealth of Virginia, the nation, and beyond. And now for the oath of office. Do you, Jeffrey Philip Stein, pledge that as president of Mary Baldwin University, you will, to the best of your ability, uphold and advance the mission and values of this institution? If you do, please say, I do.
I do.
With that, I ask trustees Dr. Sue McDowell Whitlock, Kamala Payne Arango, and Dr. Andrew Shipp to present you with the Presidential Medallion. As trustee Edmund Campbell said of Dr. Martha Stackhouse Grafton, who served as registrar, dean of instruction, and interim president, may your integrity be absolute, your academic purposes beyond reproach, and may your love of Mary Baldwin be solid as the Rock of Gibraltar. On behalf of this very fine Board of Trustees and the entire Mary Baldwin community, I proudly declare you, Jeffrey Philip Stein, officially invested as the 10th president of Mary Baldwin University. One more time, honored guests and Squirrel Nation, please join me in congratulating Mary Baldwin University's 10th president, Dr. Jeff Stein.
Nowhere in this script does it say there would be tears. Welcome. Thank you for this incredible celebration of Mary Baldwin, past, present, and future. Let me begin with some gratitude. I offer a warm Mary Baldwin welcome and my sincere thanks to each of you who have generously been giving your time this morning to us, spreading your light with us. We so appreciate the support of delegates, local and Commonwealth officials, Stanton City Council, Mayor Claffey, Council of Independent Colleges of Virginia President Chris Peace, VFIC, the NAACP, Heifetz International, American Shakespeare Center, members of the Stanton Rotary and Temple House of Israel, and so many more. To the students, faculty, staff, and Board of Trustees, our new MBU family, thank you for the honor and privilege of serving this community. A special thank you to all those who have worked tirelessly to have a Board of Trustees meeting, an inauguration, and homecoming all in 1 week. Friends and family, as Chrissy mentioned, our hearts are bursting with gratitude. Mom and Dad, watching online in Colorado, all my love. To our kids, Lena and Benny, who you may have noticed surprised me a little bit this morning. You are the lights of our lives and always our greatest loves. And of course, thank you to my partner of more than 3 decades. Talk about putting up with someone. She has done that. My companion, my closest friend, and my greatest teacher, Chrissy. Squirrel Nation is thrilled you are all here. Welcome to our home on the hill. Over nearly 2 centuries, this institution has been a beacon of light on the hill, rising and showing courage to raise people up, to open the doors of learning and provide access to education that transforms lives and entire families. We began here, at the bottom of this hill, with the notion in 1842, in collaboration with Presbyterian ministers and citizens, of founding Augusta Female Seminary to, quote, provide women with subjects similar and equal to those provided their brothers. While imperfect, the intentions were bold. And looking back, it's no surprise that Mary Julia Baldwin became our namesake. An orphan and member of the first class of the seminary, she returned to lead the institution for decades. She fought tenaciously to grow and keep the school open, and she started the drive for bringing potential to life. A former student described Mary Julia's keen ability to see and believe the best of all of us, which educated us to a higher standard of right and honor, to be believed better than we are. The torch in the stained glass window in Grafton Library behind us, and recreated beautifully in your programs by Phoebe West, represents that light of Mary Baldwin, how we are torchbearers with the power of elevation and education. This light of Mary Baldwin, to believe and educate to a higher standard, is alive and well in the faculty and staff that you see here today, who understand, as Plutarch wrote, the mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Earlier this month, a teary-eyed mom approached me on this terrace at Convocation, offering gratitude for the fire ignited in her daughter, saying 4 years ago, she was shy and quiet, unsure of her abilities. But relationships with faculty and staff, their challenging and supporting, propelled her to an even stronger version of herself, which neither mother nor daughter had imagined possible. Now, I've heard this mantra again and again from thousands of alumni across the country. These are people who did not think they were smart enough, or good at reading or math, or belonged in college, and who today chair the Atlanta Fed Board, who train on nuclear subs, who teach in classrooms and serve in hospitals across the country, who run the Boys and Girls Clubs, who created the first over-the-counter postpartum medication, who lead Fortune 500 companies. For example, Story Ayers of the class of 2009 finished high school thinking she couldn't afford college until Mary Baldwin made it possible. Her friends here were the first to see that Story should be on stage. After being dragged to the script library in Deming, Story performed poorly at best for her first audition, but in classic Baldwin fashion, she returned to ask faculty emerita Terry Sotherington, "Can I do that again? I think I can do it better." And from there, Story took off. Perhaps Story Ayers, who made her debut on Broadway last spring and now studies at the #1 film school in the country, explained it best when she made this gesture. I went to Mary Baldwin. I have gained leadership and confidence. I could do anything, I could be anything, I could know anything. Mary Baldwin gave me the confidence to go for it. So join me now by placing your hand in front of you, palm facing down. I can see all of you up there. Let's see a little palm facing down. It's easy to do. Let's try this out. Place that hand in front of you, palm facing down. Now, as you rotate your palm upward towards your heart and mind, straighten your spine and resolve. Raise your eyes and your expectations. This is the elevation of hearts and minds that Baldwin builds. This is how we bring the pieces together. Mystical scholar Isaac Luria spoke of those pieces coming together. To explain our purpose, he envisioned sacred clay vessels that stored divine light. At the beginning of the world, those vessels shattered, scattering shards across the universe into each of us, imbuing within us celestial light. Thus, our job throughout our lives is to repair the world by reconnecting. Piece by piece, person by person, we bring light back together in the world by recognizing how the fractured and divine coexist in all of us. Our uniqueness enhanced when we come together, our connections illuminated where cracks once separated. In this way, Baldwin and the world began imperfectly and separate, and our community is stronger and better because of our differences coming together. As Leonard Cohen wrote in Anthem, "Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." From this lens, we can see that Mary Baldwin is imperfect, that the vision of inclusion for the Augusta Female Seminary was imperfect. For even amid the shift to bring the light of learning to women, in 1842, in this town of grist mills, mines, and manufacturing, we also had local farms that used the labor of enslaved African Americans. With hindsight, we can see the terrible irony, the violent contradiction. It would be more than 100 years before the first African American student enrolled at Mary Baldwin College. We cannot spare ourselves this painful truth or the responsibility to reckon with it and work urgently in all we do together to let more light in. The desire to always become more inclusive, more innovative must remain at the heart of this place. Let's consider a few examples. From the past 50 years alone, President Ginny Lester in 1977 opened ADP, the Adult Degree Program, which invited adults to start or complete degrees. This program introduced credit for prior learning and led directly to our exciting online programs for students aged 17 to 70, programs ranging from social work to education to business. President Cynthia Tyson welcomed gifted and talented students, and in 1998, she created VWIL, the Virginia Women's Institute for Leadership, the only all-women's cadet corps in the country, which has graduated more than 500 women into all 6 branches of the military and leadership roles far and wide. President Tyson and President Fox welcomed first-generation students and lower-income students. President Fox opened Mary Baldwin to men and founded Murphy-Deming College of Health Sciences to meet regional healthcare needs. Through PA, PT, OT, DNP, CRNA, RN to BSN, MSN, and MHA degrees, and more, all with 100% pass and placement rates. Over and over, the people of Mary Baldwin have endeavored to be better, to be more equitable, to take on new challenges for the Commonwealth, the nation, Stanton, Augusta County, and to empower students who don't yet believe in themselves and who have been told that they don't belong. And today, in great contrast to our origins, while knowing that we still have much work to do every day, we stand on one of the most diverse campuses in the nation, known for openness to the LGBTQ+ community, and with an undergraduate population that is 40% first in their family to go to college, 50% students of color, and 60% Pell-eligible students. And these students know, as Christian Peel from the class of 2005 has shared, I can confidently be whoever I want to be. I can do whatever I want to do, and all of that comes from Baldwin. Now, like many of you, I was drawn here by the students you see around you, by this place and its powerful nature of being a launch pad for students. I was drawn here because my own family's trajectory was transformed by education and freedom. My grandparents were refugees, fleeing the Holocaust on one side of the family and the Russian pogroms on the other, slipping out of Europe with just their lives in search of freedom, democracy, and education. And the miracle of this country, the miracle of education, of course, is that in the span of just 2 generations, my family went from refugees, my grandparents, to first-generation college students, my parents, to me standing before you today as the 10th president of Mary Baldwin University. Thank you. It is, as President Connie Book of Elon would say, the everyday miracle of education. And this is the debt I owe, to pay forward of education, to transform the trajectories of entire families, to let more light in. Remember, the flame of opportunity has been burning here for 183 years across Augusta Female Seminary, Mary Baldwin Seminary, Mary Baldwin College, Mary Baldwin University, plus the Stanton Military Academy, online at Murphy-Deming in Stanton, and across 21,643 alumni of poets, professors, healthcare professionals, artists, entrepreneurs, educators, public servants, and more across all of these constituents. We are one Mary Baldwin. With a little dramatic interlude as well. Who said there wasn't divinity here? We are one Mary Baldwin, whether our gonfalons are standing or not. But those of you who know this place, who call this place home, who have felt winds come before, know that the story of Mary Baldwin has never been about what is, but what can be. We must continue to welcome all who want an education, ask the hard questions that will quell the urge to be complacent or stop innovating. Trustees have to do it all, it looks like. Dr. Andrew Shipp, thank you. Kamala Payne-Arango, yes, we appreciate that. Now, let me just tell you, there are those who believe and would argue that Mary Baldwin should remain what it was 10, 20, 50, 100 years ago. But the issue is not whether we should be a liberal arts college or focus on professional studies. The question is not whether we should be women or co-ed. The matter of consequence is not whether we should be online or in-person, undergraduate or graduate. No, it is not about how we stay the same. That has never been the question here. Mary Baldwin must continue to challenge the past, argue with assumptions, and reframe how we think about our beloved institution. Not simply whether we are women or men, black or white or Hispanic, Latin A, X or Y. The central question for Mary Baldwin must always be, how can we meet the moment, lighting the way with innovative pathways for all students? As Christy Howell, class of 1993, shared with me, it's a blustery day. As she shared with me, the gift I received from Mary Baldwin during my time as a student is different from the gift that Mary Baldwin gives students today. But it's still the gift of a Mary Baldwin education and all that entails. From many backgrounds to one Mary Baldwin, offering pathways for all. This is the lantern we fight to keep lit. Now, some of you may be thinking, private higher education is struggling. Enrollments, endowments, and public confidence are down. Mary Baldwin has winds blowing from every direction. We have a small endowment. We have aging historic buildings, an overwhelming need for investment, infrastructure, development, and more. And you'd be right. Facing these challenges requires us to draw upon the power of the entire Mary Baldwin community to move mountains. Now, how do I know that we can move mountains? We've been bucking the trends for 183 years. Nationally, we are turning away from the big box, Harvard and the elites, massive endowments and legacy admissions. Small and mighty is in. That's right. Let's just consider a few initiatives this campus, this community has accomplished in just the past year. We've redesigned the undergraduate experience, including a 10-course multidisciplinary liberal arts Common Core curriculum, enhanced by a skills portfolio of 6 durable skills. We've designed a new academic portfolio consisting of 4 academic neighborhoods, each with a residential house. We began a complete redesign of enrollment management and a completely new brand made for you. We are balancing the budget. We launched a new Center for Teaching and Learning. We partnered with school districts around the Commonwealth on a new licensure program to grow teacher ranks in the midst of a teacher shortage. We built the first of many efficient pathway programs so undergraduates can spend 3 years here at Mary Baldwin and earn a PT or OT degree in 2.5 years at Murphy-Deming, cutting 1.5 years from their tuition bill and their time to launch, and we will do more of those. We were invited by Gardner Institute to join a 5-year Gates, ECMC, Kresge, and Lumina-funded partnership to raise retention and graduation rates, and we created an Alumni Advisory Council, recreated alumni chapters, and doubled the alumni giving rate. That's right. Thank you, alumni. And this morning, let's officially add some fundraising milestones. In just 1 year, we are up 36% in the total number of donors and have raised $5.5 million to support initiatives in the next strategic plan, creating an auspicious runway for our next comprehensive campaign coming this spring, look for it, to support academic innovation and growth and scholarships and renovation of our campus home. Additionally, the E. Rhodes and Leona B. Carpenter Foundation has awarded Mary Baldwin $1 million to renovate Carpenter Hall. That's right. You can view Kaylor Slater's drawings posted in Grafton Library, and let me just tell you, I would be happy to talk to any of you about how you would like to help us raise the additional $1.5 million for that project or to support our next campaign. My schedule is here. You can sign up. I will talk to you at any point because we are just getting started and we will need your help. You see, we can all strive to be a bit more like Eleanor Supple of the class of 1942, our oldest living alumna, who has stood by this institution, that's right, and donated every year since graduating 82 years ago. That's right. Thank you, Eleanor. We're sending prayers for Eleanor's good health. Like Eleanor, we must recognize, as Anais Nin wrote, that the risk to remain tight in a bud is more painful than the risk to blossom. Therefore, today, we officially announce our shared vision, which is in your programs, shaped by the aspirations of students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the local community, the Elevate MBU Strategic Plan for 2030, which aims to preserve and expand on Mary Baldwin's legacy. Today, we release Elevate MBU and set on a course to go where we are needed, to elevate the diverse leaders of tomorrow through student-centered, career-aligned pathways deeply rooted in the essential skills of a liberal arts education, to magnify our historic commitments to innovation and access. As it says in your program, we will advance an aggressive agenda for student success and launch a redesigned undergraduate experience. We will optimize academic offerings aligned with workforce needs, expand online and healthcare programs, and modernize operations, facilities, technology, and infrastructure. We will connect with community and industry partners, enhance alumni engagement and leadership, and foster an even more diverse and inclusive campus. Most importantly, for the long term, Elevate positions Mary Baldwin to be the destination for diverse talent, to dominate in healthcare and online education by being a premier regional partner for healthcare education. Do we have some white coat students out there? Let's hear from you. That's right. Advancing an adult and online students' professional trajectories, and to accelerate degree pathways that launch students to lives of purpose and professional success. We're getting there, folks. Today, we are not merely staking our claim. We are calling on all alumni, students, faculty, staff, retirees, residents of Stanton and Augusta County, partners, alumni, employers, we need all of you, friends, family, to join us. We cannot do it without you. Let me say it plainly and directly. The work of elevation will be daunting and difficult, and it will take all of us. Will require the entire Mary Baldwin community and friends to bring the pieces together, to keep the flame lit, to serve as torchbearers. Mary Baldwin can only navigate the very real headwinds facing private higher education and the financial challenges of a small university, with strong partnerships across Stanton and the Commonwealth, with talented, engaged, and dedicated alumni, with each of you here today and online. We can rise to the challenges of our time if we engage, as Marge Piercy says in her poem, To Be of Use, by jumping into the work head first without dallying in the shadows, pulling like water buffalo in the mud and the muck to move things forward, doing what has to be done again and again, moving in a common rhythm. This is the work we were destined to do. And to get there, friends, will take all of us. It's going to take a fight, something we are not afraid of, and nothing new for this community. There is wood to be chopped and a fire to keep lit. We need you, and you must decide how you will help us carry the torch. I promise I will be calling on each and every one of you to do your part to keep the torch lit. As our motto so urgently argues, non pro tempore sed aeternitate, not for time, but eternity, speaking to that ever striving forward and how we come together not for the past 183 years, but for the next, for the striving to climb the next summit for what can be. We have much work that is important in front of us. There will always be those who count us out or think the hill is too steep, but we are Mary Baldwin. Together, we will boldly carry the luminous torch, opening the doors of learning to all who wish to enter. We will lean into innovation and access, and we will continue to rise. All in for Mary Baldwin. Now let's get to chopping.
Dr. Stein, when I first met you in an unannounced visit to your office on my way down I-81, one thing you said tugged at my heart. I'm simply Mary Baldwin's caretaker. Hearing your words today confirmed you're the caretaker she needs and we need right now. And I'm excited to share with you a squirrely and heartfelt congratulations on behalf of Mary Baldwin's 21,000 alumni. It's wonderful to be gathered here today, all in as a community, to celebrate our shared values of academic excellence, respect and compassion for all, and concern for what Mary Julia Baldwin referred to as the common good. To celebrate Mary Baldwin's role in the development of leaders who build on a legacy of transformational change, and to celebrate the students, faculty, staff, and alumni who together propel this institution forward.
Dr. Jeff Stein, today we ask you to always shepherd our alma mater and the Mary Baldwin community toward new heights. Keep us all focused on the power of a Mary Baldwin education to transform the lives of the students. Call on us to stay connected to Mary Baldwin and to envision and steward our university's future. Alumni members of the audience, will you please stand?
President Stein, the alumni here today represent more than 21,000 pieces of Mary Baldwin's vibrant leadership tapestry. Beyond their individual or volunteer titles, each alumni is a visionary, an advocate, ally, artist, boundary buster, and change agent who collaborates for greater good, all because of our liberal arts foundation obtained here and the experiences on this hill. Please take your seats.
In recognition of your inauguration as the 10th president of Mary Baldwin, and in support of this responsibility, we offer you 3 sources of inspiration. When you hear the words of doubters and naysayers, we wish you the character and courage of Mary Julia Baldwin in championing students and this institution. When you face financial challenges and difficult decisions, we offer you the tenacity, loyalty, and curiosity of the Fighting Squirrel Nation. And when you feel the bluster of the winds, such as this morning, across the Shenandoah Valley, we wish you the fortitude of this campus's mighty oaks and the patience to remember that even mighty oaks begin as tiny acorns. In offering these gifts, we hand you the torch and place in your hands our trust for this institution that we desperately love. Thank you.
President Stein, Mary Baldwin alumni offer our support to you and pledge our continued partnership with this institution, which continues to shape our lives and empowers us to contribute to making a better world. Alumni members of the audience, please join me in congratulating President Stein as he takes on the stewardship of Mary Baldwin. Thank you, and everyone, please, if you are able, and if you are not, you may still rise wherever you are and sing with all that you have the Mary Baldwin hymn.
To these halls where wisdom reckons, to these hills where beauty dwells, where the search for learning beckons, where its tumult never quells. Here we bring our childhood visions, stirring in the quest for truth. Here we forge the mind's decisions, tempered by the faith of youth. Friendship, honor, sorrow, laughter are the ways by which we learn. Knowledge first, then wisdom after, love that seeks not for return. When we reach the last tomorrow of our days in class on field, we will know how we must borrow Mary Baldwin from thy yield.
So please remain standing. The Hebrew Bible includes a blessing known as the priestly blessing. It's found early in the book of Numbers, the fourth of the 5 books of Moses. This time-honored blessing is how we bestow our goodness on one another. Usually an elder of the family blesses the children. As we conclude today, I would like to lead all of us in this blessing. Even if you don't know Hebrew, I ask that you repeat after me. But first, let's turn to President Stein and your family. Will you join me in saying these Hebrew words, Mazel Tov? We will be blessing you, and by extension, we will be blessing this esteemed and holy university. I'd like to ask that those of us who are university senior leadership, including administrators, deans, department heads, and professors, if you would lend voice to this. I'd like to also ask that university staff on all levels, please lend your voice to this. And now also alumni of Mary Baldwin and all the honored guests of this community, please lend your voice to this.
And students, wherever you are, but especially those up on the hill, please do this also. I'd like for you to take your hands and direct them towards President Stein and towards the Stein family. And in doing so, we are going to direct this prayer to the entire Mary Baldwin family. So repeat these words after me. First in Hebrew, then in English. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha vichuneka. May God's light shine on you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God always be with you and bless you with peace. From all of our hearts we say, Amen.
Sound drums and trumpets, farewell, sour noy. For here, I hope, begins our lasting joy.
Thank you for attending the 10th Presidential Inauguration of Mary Baldwin University. Please remain in your places for the recessional.